I'm live. Talking Habs is on the air. Welcome to WKRP in Cincinnati. Okay, I'm going crazy. I know I'm going crazy. Welcome in. Oh, there's 4 people. It said nobody was waiting. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Talking Habs. Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live. No. Saturday Night Hockey Talk is back. Wow. That dropped out 2 people. Woohoo. Saturday Night Hockey Talk. How's everybody doing? I guess it's the first live stream in a while. We've got actually stuff to talk about. So I don't know what you guys would like to talk about. Nolan, how's it going, buddy? How you doing out there in BC? I imagine everybody's going to want to talk about the playoff format that's coming up. Lee Max, how's it going? I'm doing good. How are you all doing? I'm doing good. Everything's the same. I'm chugging along. Leafs have to play Boston. Bruins. Leafs will lose. Now, first of all, John, Leafs are going to have to beat the Blue Jackets. Not to say that I don't think they can, but they will have to beat the Blue Jackets first before they might play the Boston Bruins. We don't know how it's going to work out with how with the brackets, how they're going to play because let's put it this way. The worst teams that make it through, whatever their ranks are, the lowest ranks play the highest, right? So I don't know how and might change that. I don't know how it works out. So they might not have to play the Bruins. Another reason why is it's still not up. They're not sure. What's going to happen is the top four teams in each conference, they will have a mini round robin. So East and West not playing each other, but round robin. So 3 games, and they're just not sure if that's going to change the seeding. So the winners, it could change how it's seeded. That's up in the air, but they will have this little tournament. So it's just a matter of whether that'll change that. So it's possible they won't play. Even if they win, they might not play the Bruins because the Bruins might not win the round robin tournament, and their seeding can change. So that's something. How has my week been? My week's been pretty good, Wolf. Thanks a lot. Wolf Beans third is here. MJ is here. NHL Hockey News is here. Fedge is here. Jeff Fedgehead. Fedge. I don't know what I call you anymore. Thanks everybody for coming in. Let's have some fun. And I can only tell you what I know, but I have a feeling. I mean, you guys can find out a lot of the stuff that I know. Obviously, the same way I do. So I'm not sure what you want to talk about. I can tell you what I know. And the thing is, hockey's not back. And that's still up in the air. That should come in the next week or 2. We should hear. I see an interesting comment I want to get to from Glenn. MJ, I said hi. No problem. If NHL Hockey News, if you're still here, no problem. Come back anytime. I should be here for an hour and a half, at least. Lee, can't wait to see a hockey game. Yeah, me too, but it doesn't mean it's back yet, but we're a little closer to it. Looks like Canadians versus Penguins, yes. Okay, honestly, I got Penguins winning, and I'll tell you why. It's probably twofold. I don't want Montreal to win. I don't want Montreal to lose their draft spot. I don't think they can win the cup, but they could. But I don't think so. So I don't think it's worth them winning the play-in and then screwing up their draft position. So I have the Penguins winning. Don't forget, the Penguins are going to have Gensel back. Everyone's going to be healthy and rested. I think the Penguins are too strong at that point. So we'll have to see. That's who I'm going with right now. Wonder who will be called up to replace Domi. This is very interesting because Max Domi, I don't think will play. This is another reason why I don't know if Montreal can beat Pittsburgh, because Max Domi can't play. There's no way. By the way, let me remind everybody, I'm going to try not to scroll. So if I miss a comment, please just do it again, or you can do a super chat or like that. So and I'll definitely see that. And I would appreciate it. It helps the channel. So if anybody wants to take a super chat, I super duper appreciate it. If you can't, don't worry about it. It's nothing. I'm not going to hold it against you guys. Okay. Where was I? With the Penguins. Oh, yeah. So the Penguins, I think they're stronger. I just don't think Montreal, Max Domi not being able to play, that's where I was. I think that really is going to affect their chances in the playoffs. I really do, and I don't want them to lose their draft position. Would I rather have the good draft pick or be in the playoffs? Well, I think I just answered that. Yeah, I think, I'd like them to win the Stanley Cup. I really, really would, but I don't think they will. So if you look at it that way, their chances to win the cup are not that great. I'd rather that they don't advance and they keep their 8th position. That I'd really rather that. And it's not known yet if say they beat Pittsburgh. Does Pittsburgh take their 8th position in the draft? That's what's unknown right now. And if that's the case, then I don't want them to win. If it was a bad draft, I mean, okay, I'd rather they make the playoffs. But this is a really good draft. They have a really good pick, and they can pick up a really solid, maybe elite player. And I think I'd rather have that. I really do. Especially, listen, if a guy like Marco Rossi drops to us because of his height. Now, I know he's small, but he's a guy that could be like a Mats Naslund. You get a guy like that, that guy helps you win. And he'll be here not next year, but the year after. I think that's a win-win, so I'd like to get him. Fedge is saying, I don't any games will be played in Canada. Oh, Edmonton's looking good for it. I see all the games being played in Republican states. Yeah, that's a good one. It's the only ones that the president will approve is a Republican state. No, it looks like Edmonton might be. Edmonton's making a really good run for it. Wolf, I'm not sure what you said, but don't worry. I would have got you that it's NHL. Can Domi not play because of his diabetes? That's exactly right. It doesn't look like. And, look, guys with asthma, there's got to be guys, okay, like Philadelphia, that Lindholm guy, he might be, I think he's ready to play again. He can't because he can't take a chance. Guys like that won't be able to play. So there will be teams that are going to have guys that can't play. There won't be a ton of them, but Domi definitely, I don't see him being able to play. Hey, David, how's it going? Thanks for coming in, buddy. Is KK healthy yet? He probably replaces Domi. KK, I don't see that. KK's recovering from a spleen injury. That takes time. Jay Roy, you're about to go away with a comment. I see you. Thanks for coming in. South Shore, all right. Very close by. KK has to recover from his spleen injury. I don't see him playing in the NHL till sometime in the next year. Next year, I don't see him playing in the NHL this year. This calendar year. I don't see it. So, no, I don't think he'll be called up. Lee Max agrees with me that he wants that good pick. Fedge, Habs on the road and the best goaltender they could pull off a cup with. Oh, no, without a doubt, they could do it. I'm not saying they can't, but I think the odds are against them. And when you look at what the prize is that they're giving up, I'd rather them take the prize than take that shot. I mean, look, if they beat Pittsburgh in 3 straight and they're just dominant and all that, it's a different story. Then, they have a really good shot. I'm not denying that, but I don't think they have the talent through the ranks to win a cup right now. That's what I'm saying. So, do I want them to, though? I would be happy as shit that they win. But unless they win a cup, it doesn't really pay. It's one of those seasons. If they win the cup, it pays that they went that far. If they don't, they end up with a horrible pick. They lost something really good, and they're no farther along, and it's horrible. I don't like it. Even though they got great prospects coming up, I know that, but they have a really good opportunity here to get somebody special. Okay, sorry, I missed guys, I missed some comments. You'd have to redo them. Sorry about that. Go Habs, go! How's it going, buddy? I don't hate the situation. If we lose to the Penguins, we probably still get it. Yeah, I think if we lose to the Penguins, we still have the 8th pick. And if we win, I'm going to love watching the Habs head into round 1 with some momentum. Hey, listen, I've always said this. When I'm watching them play, I'm going to love it if they win. Doesn't mean even if they don't win the cup, I'm going to love it every time they win. I can't help that. I love when they win, but I don't really want them to. It doesn't mean I'm going to watch them and go, oh, don't win. No, I'm going to be, like normal. But, I don't want to lose that pick. Fed says he does not have faith in the draft like everyone else does. Well, listen, they're draft picks. That's understandable. Nothing's for sure. Even Lafreniere is not for sure. But it's a hell of a lot better draft than it's been. There's been a couple of good ones, but there's been some really bad ones that it's not one of those. And you really got a shot at getting a really good player here. So, I mean, that's my opinion. And of course, you're allowed your opinion. I'm sure you'll be hoping that they go far. And if they do, I'll be happy to. All right, David, I'm glad you're doing okay, buddy. I really am. With no fighting and limited checking, players like Crosby and Malkin could steal the show. That's another good point. I don't know what the rules are going to be about checking. I know fighting is going to be out. Any kind of clutching and grabbing, holding on, it's going to all be out. So I don't know. Checking is different because it's contact, but it's quick and gone. So I don't know I mean, how can you have hockey without checking? So I don't know what they're going to do with that. So we're going to find out. They're working all those things out now. So we'll find out hopefully soon. We're going to need speed and youth to counter. We've got some speed and youth. That we're set up for. And you're right. The rookies could excel. Nick Suzuki could come out and just be lights out like he was. Listen, the last playoffs he played in was the OHL. And 42 points in 24 games. Not saying he's going to do that here. But maybe he gets a point a game. And he shows who he is. Excuse me. I just ate supper not too long ago. Tyson Barrie, very bad at defender. Yeah, I don't want Tyson Barrie. We need guys that I'd like to see a guy that can move the puck and be part of the offense, but he's got to be able to play defensively. And Tyson Barrie didn't show much there in Toronto, if you ask me. The way I look at it, they could draft a bust early and get a steal later. So why not go all in for the cup? Well, that's true too. It's just like they could win against Pittsburgh and then bust out against Boston, it's Boston. I'd be encouraged because it's Boston. We can beat them without being better than them. So it's a half a dozen of one, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. That's what they say it. So I just lean towards I'd like to pick. I know a lot of people are going to lean towards they want them to advance in the playoffs, and I get that. John, you're right. Leafs don't have a defender. This is their big problem. Wolverine, how's it going, buddy? How you feeling? How you doing? I haven't heard from you in a bit. How you doing? Oh, there. Okay, you're down. Okay, I'm still at the top. I don't know how you guys see it, but I'm at the top of the. Does Johnny Drouin have a good season next year? 25 goals minimum? Well, we got to hope so. You know what? Let's see if they're going to start playing again. Let's see how he does here to make a bit of a judgment and see if he comes out against the Penguins and he looks really good and he's getting points, and we got to say that Drouin we saw at the beginning of the season is the guy that we've got, and that's like awesome. So let's hope. Michael, sup? I'm doing good. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. I see you got a Patrick Kane logo. So you must be a Chicago fan. You also must be happy to get your team getting some games in at least. I tell you what, Chicago, I think, might have a bit of a better chance. They have more experience in the postseason. Everybody's rested. Crawford could be really great. We know he's won a cup or two. And I think Chicago's probably got a better chance than Montreal. It's going to be weird with no fans. I definitely get you there. Fed, your comment just went past me. Sorry, buddy. You're going to have to retype it. At least we don't need to worry about Brad Marchand licking anybody. That's not going to happen. That's for sure. If he does, he's out. Wolverine, I think Drouin will have at least a 65-point season next year. I hope so. I mean, he should be doing that. So, I mean, I'm only hoping for the best for him. But we'll see. We'll get a little hint of it when they start playing again. Hey, David, thanks a lot. Come back later if I'm still on. Enjoy your dinner. Without Domi, that's a punch in the gut. I agree. Someone like Drouin has to step up. That's Suzuki. Hopefully would help a lot. Galley coming in clutch. Weber playing great. And Price being himself to do well. Yeah, listen, they can overcome Domi as well. It's not that they can't. But I think it is a bit of a punch in the gut. And people are going to have to step up to replace what Domi brings. And that's what's going to happen. And Price himself, too, is going to have to be, those games where he was lights out, he's got to do that. And he's capable. He's fully capable of stealing 3 games out of a 5-game series. There's no doubt. See, John, what happened if they fight in the playoff, get kicked out of a game? I would think there's going to be some heavy penalties for breaking those rules with the social distancing stuff to keep them apart as much. I think there's going to be some. Yeah, they haven't announced anything. I imagine they will. Any news on Romanov being able to play? He could really help. No, nothing yet about that. I will announce it if it happens. So as soon as I hear anything on that, that's worth a video on its own. So I will definitely not wait and put it in just the news of the day unless I'm about to do a news of the day and that comes out. But yeah, so far nothing. Jeff thinks, I think the NHL will put digital fans and crowd noises on the broadcast. Do you really think that's that's the first I've heard of that? And you know what? That sounds like a possibility. I wouldn't put it past them. I would like to at least get the first games like that without, not like that, but without anything, just to hear what it. I mean, I know what hockey sounds like, obviously, when you're watching a game live. You don't have the broadcast. You don't have all that. You do have fans around, but I would like to see or hear what it sounds like where you're playing hockey dead silent everywhere else. That would be really cool. And if it's too much swearing, because there's going to be some swearing, the guys are going to have to watch their mouths. Or, if there's too much, they'll do like you say. They'll put noise, like a laugh track for a comedy. Wolf Beans, what is the potential of Jake Evans? I think he's got pretty good potential. I believe he will start. Well, he'll pick it up where he was. He'll be on the 4th-line center. Listen, without Domi, he could move up to the 3rd-line center, possibly. That's another thing, right? Without Domi, maybe Poehling gets called up for 4th-line center, and Evans as the 3rd. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think Jake Evans has I like him. I like his energy. I like what he brings to the table in his rookie season so far. So he's young. He's got a lot of ways to go, but I like what I see with him. If we lose in the play-in round, most likely, it's from Nolan. Who do you think we'll draft? Well, it's hard. It's really hard to say. When I'm doing my prospect videos, I'm trying to. I'll tell you if there's a guy I really think, because I've done that already. I've done the last one was Alexander Holtz. I think that's a possibility. Cole Perfetti, obviously. Marco Rossi, Jake Sanderson. I think these are possibilities. I can guarantee you this: if Drysdale drops to 8th, I don't see Montreal not taking him. I don't think Drysdale will drop. But if he does, I don't see Montreal not taking him. So I'll tell you when I'm doing my videos who I think that they might pick. To say, oh, it's going to be this guy, I don't think that's possible. I really don't. The only guy on the draft you can say where he's going to go is Lafreniere. I don't even think Byfield you can say for sure. I think it's a possibility. Stutzel could go, Stutzley, however you pronounce it, Stutzley, could possibly go ahead of Byfield. So I don't know. We're not close enough to it. Maybe when it gets closer, and I'll do another mock draft, and because I will once we know for sure what the draft positions will be. I'm going to do another mock draft, and I'll try to nail it down closer to what I think they'll actually do if I can, and that's the best I can do. Sorry about that. I think the draft is the top 3, then the Russian goalie, and a crapshoot for everyone else. If we don't have a top 3 pick or pick the goalie, I don't care who we pick. Okay, so you agree with me that Askarov could go that high, right? I had him at 3, but when I thought about that, well, it doesn't really matter. If it stays where Ottawa is drafting 3 and 4, or is it 2 and 3? I don't even remember. But if they have the back-to-backs, it doesn't matter where Askarov gets drafted, but I think he could go in the top 5. But anyways, first one that nobody else agrees with me that Askarov will go that high. I'm not saying he will, but I think there's a possibility that he will. And I think Ottawa, with those 2 early picks, I think or New Jersey, they've got 2 picks pretty. I think one of them might go for Askarov. They both could use him. Bergevin going to try to trade up. The problem with trying to trade up is they're not going to allow you to trade players. So you can only trade players outside the NHL if you have their rights, or draft picks or prospects. I think it makes that a little harder to do. So I don't know if they can. Do I think he'll try? I think I think if he's at least a decent GM, you try. Doesn't mean you're going to be successful, but I think you got to try to make your pick higher. I mean, so I think he would try. I don't think he'd be successful, although he might. Wolverine, he's feeling good, and so is his mother. Awesome. That is just so awesome to hear, buddy. I'm really glad. I figured you were, because you did a video or 2, I think. I saw it out there. I didn't watch it. Honestly, I haven't yet. I get to your videos a lot of times, you guys all there, after, maybe a few days after you've posted them. So I do apologize, but I do see sometimes they don't notify me the same way anymore. I don't know if it's the same for you guys. I used to get, and I don't know if it's because I changed computers, but my laptop would always, if there's a notification of a new video that I'm subscribed to, and I rang the bell, or a comment, I would get right away. I'd get a little notification would pop up and let me know. I don't get that anymore. I don't get them in, where you click and you see your notifications. I used to get them there for sure. They're there sometimes, but not very often. So it's a new system for me to get used to. Going in specifically, let's go and check the comments. It's a little different, and so my lateness on it is because of that. So I do apologize, and it's the same thing for notifications. I don't see them all the time, so I apologize for that. But I do get around to your videos, eventually. Listen, same thing with mine. Not everybody watches them right away. It's the same thing. I'm feeling bad. Sorry about that, guys. I have trouble with managing my time, so I feel like a lot of times I need a little downtime every day. I need it. If I don't get any downtime, I don't feel good, and it kind of takes away from watching other videos a lot. So I apologize. Let me finish this comment. I was going to text you on Twitter, but we found out last night that we had a death. Oh, no. I'm really, but, this is not your year or month. Listen, really sorry about that. My condolences. I don't know who it was, but my condolences. This is a tough time to have a death in the family. Like you said, can't be around them. It's not the same being, you do an online chat. They don't want to talk online. Yeah, that's sad. Sorry about that, buddy. I hope things get better for you soon. It's, what? This is just a bad year for everybody. I mean, this is a bad year. I've got to move in 4 months. Like out of this building. They no longer have apartments that suit me. New ownership and prices went sky high. So either I stay in an apartment I can't afford anyway, or take a 3.5 now that's more expensive than my 4.5, and they don't have 2.5s anymore. So I got to actually leave, and maybe even have to leave my neighborhood, which I love. So it's just not a good year. It's just not a good year. So I'm dreading that. So I'm hoping somehow I'm able to keep my apartment. Yeah. So if you want to help, that's what Super Chats are for. Look, it's a weird way to say it, but it's true. If the channel's doing that good, I'm able to stay and don't have to move. I don't expect that to happen. Don't worry. But yeah, so it's bad for everybody. But I feel bad for you, Wolverine. Sorry. Not pity. I don't pity you because I've been through this stuff myself. Pity's the worst thing. You don't really want that, but thoughts are with you. Seriously. And I hope things get better. Listen, you've had enough bad now. It's time for some better things to happen to you. Call up from John. I'm not sure what you mean by call up from the AHL. I might have missed a previous comment of yours, so I apologize for that. Will the Canadians allow 3-digit jersey numbers in like 30 years? They might have to in 30 years. But listen, if you guys want to, you got to kind of delve really deep. I want to say it's probably about 8 months ago, might be longer. I did a video about Toe Blake and his jersey not being retired. And in there, I gave what I thought is a good idea. Instead of retiring jersey numbers, you retired the jersey name. So the player's name on the back of the jersey, you retire that. But the number is still able to use. Now, there's certain numbers I think should not be used again. But I think going forward, we should retire the player's name on the back of the jersey with his number, but it's the name that's important. So you can reuse the numbers and not have to go to triple-digit numbers. Because, like you said, in 30 years, I won't still be around, believe me. Well, I'd be 87, so I might still be. But they might have to do that in 30 years at this point. Although, listen, how many of our players are going to get numbers retired in the next 30 years? So there will be numbers. But I still think that they should retire the names and not the numbers. And then some of the names, the numbers that have been retired, can come back. But I still think there's a few numbers that should never be worn again for the Habs because those players were just that special. And yes, Guy Lafleur's number 10 is one of them. But there's other numbers. I think there's probably a good 6 or 7 numbers that I think maybe should never be worn again for the Habs. Will AHL players be able to be called up to the NHL? I don't see why not. When the playoffs are around, they have an expanded roster. They're allowed to have so I don't see why not. Nolan, if you're still there, sorry, go eat dinner, enjoy. If I'm still on later when you're ready, come back in. You know that anytime. NHL hockey news is back. All right, buddy. David's back. Everybody who went to eat's back. All right. 16 people in the room. Not bad. Numbers are getting better. 17, as I said it. If you want, anybody likes it, let's get the thumbs up. If the thumbs up. Let's see if we can smash that thumbs up. Let's get some likes here to help the algorithm. I'd appreciate that. Anybody who hasn't, if you like it, I mean, if you're having a good time, I really appreciate a thumbs up. I guess it's a good time to mention, hey, Fedge, thank you so much. Wow. I really appreciate that. Fedge has been a good supporter so far of my channel. Pick the best available, so pick the goalie. Oh, well, obviously. And you know what? I think he would be there's probably a few players you could say it's a good draft that you could say are the best pick available. And at the same time, for Ottawa, I think it answers it fills a hole that they need. Especially Anderson's probably retired. They don't have a number one goalie, like a really solid top number one goalie. And here's an opportunity to get one. And he's legitimately a top 10 pick. I think it's a no-brainer. That's why I did it. I didn't do it just to be contrary, to put Askarov as the third pick. I'm third or fourth, I think third. It wasn't for that. It was because I think it really fills a need for Ottawa. And he is going to be a top goalie. I mean, he's going to be a good goalie. I can't see Askarov being a bust. You know, a player like that, you know, otherwise there'd be other goalies that they might say you could pick in the top in the later part of the first round. He's the best goalie by far in the rankings. So, yeah, I think it's a good I think so. I agree with that, Jeff. Definitely do. Yeah, hey, they doubled. NHL hockey, thanks. I appreciate the thumbs up double. I appreciate that, guys. You listen. You know what? I didn't have any insider on that at all. I didn't hear anything. I didn't read anything about Askarov and Ottawa. But to me, it just made sense. Like simple. That's it. Wolverine, if hockey comes back, his upload, well, that's good. It should. There'll be more stuff to do. It's easier. You know, last summer I really struggled. I think this break, because now this is like the break from last summer, I didn't struggle as much at the beginning because of all the COVID stuff, but I kind of got my game going and not struggling as much. It's a little easier with experience, I guess. So yeah, your schedule should change because there'll be more to do, easier to find subjects. That's, it's hard when you don't know what to do, no content. David doesn't hate Ottawa anymore. David, you got to tell me why. I'm interested to know why you don't hate them anymore. Did I miss anything here? Will Kyle Dubs be fired after? Did you see that poll where they said they polled the agents and asked them which GM they prefer to deal with, and Dubas was like way ahead of everybody, 26%, I think, and the others nobody was double digits because of look at the contracts he gives out, the money he gives out. So I think, yeah, if Toronto loses to Columbus, Dubas might be out. He might not because of everything and the chaos, so they might give him one more season. But I think Dubas is on a short leash, personally, and he really needs that team to come around and win something. Wouldn't it be funny, though? And sorry, any Leafs fans that might be here, if the Leafs win the Cup this year and they can't have a parade, and it's been 57 years and they can't celebrate it. Oh, wow. Kind of apropos if you're a Habs fan. But, yeah, sorry, Leafs fan. Didn't mean that. Well, sort of did, but didn't really. New videos coming out for NHL hockey news. Yeah, by the way, anybody, let me get my Wolverine. NHL hockey news has a channel. Head over there. Please check out their channel. Give them a thumbs up and a subscribe and get their numbers up. They got to get to the monetization. See, NHL Hockey News is doing new videos coming out next week. Tallest and shortest 2020 draft prospects. That's cool. I like that idea. That's different. And playoff videos, packed week. Yeah, it's going to be a good week for us creators. As things start, if things come back, but as there's stuff to do, it's easier and it's more fun. Would you trade Primo for Mantha? Oh, Jeff, that's not fair. I know you just you just did a super chat, and that's not fair. You should have actually asked that in your super chat. Oh my God, you're not fair. I'd say this: if they can trade, they can't do it though. Before, it's too bad. If they could trade Primo for Mantha before the draft, and then they get to pick Askarov, I like it. But I don't know. I'd have to. My instinct is to say no. I know you would. I know you would, and I know your reasons why. And I know it's a timing issue, but I'm not so sure Primo's timing is bad to be here to replace Price. I'm not so sure. It depends on how quickly you want to make Primo the number one starter. If you want to make him your number one guy, you may be right that it's a little quick and Price will still be here and he might not be able to do that. I get it. If that's really the case, if I felt that way, I would do it like that. I would. Mantha's a guy I would love to get here in Montreal. I think Mantha would be good. He's got talent. He's got offense. He's got size. He's a guy we need. So, Jeff, that's not fair. Thanks. I actually like questions like that are challenging like that. David's from the Ottawa Valley. I know that. From Sarsfield. It's funny. I've never heard of Sarsfield. That's why. Yeah, well, you should like Ottawa. Listen, I don't like the owner from Ottawa, but I don't dislike the Senators. Excuse me. I definitely need to drink. Not easy doing this talking for, 35 minutes now. Plus, I did a 20-minute video and a 15-minute video today. It's a lot of talking. Let's see now. Wolf Beans. I don't see Primo becoming a starter. Just don't. Listen, that, I can understand that. Not really. But I mean, no, it's your opinion. And I get that. I see him as a starter. I see him a lot like Price. I see him a lot like Price. I'd like to keep him. If we could somehow get Askarov, but if we get Askarov, we lose on getting an offensive player. I know. I'm so torn. I'm so torn. Yeah, that's not fair. Fedge is not fair. That's not fair. I'm gonna think about this now. The whole live stream. No, I see Primo as the starter of the future. So I don't want to trade him, but God damn it, I want Mantha here in Montreal. I really, you know what? I really got to think about that to give you a definite how I don't know. I'm so torn. I hope that answers your question, Jeff. Thanks for the hard question, Jeff. Okay, let's get on here. Wolverine, I think Chicago has potential to win the cup this year. You know what? I kind of do too. Well, you know what? It's weird. I kind of think it can go. This is how I think about Chicago. I was thinking, it's funny because I was thinking about, I'm going to do a video with my predictions I'm going to do a bracket prediction. Hot Take just did one, and I'm going to do one too. So when I went to walk my dog, I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about Chicago, and I said Chicago's probably going to do one of two things. They struggled all season. They couldn't get it together. They either really continue on that and they just bow out quickly in the play-ins, or I think Chicago gets hot. They have the experience. They know how to play these games. They know how to win these games, and they get hot and they go far. And I think they could. That's one of those upset teams I think could actually go all the way. Yeah, I think just because of their experience, their age bothers me. Corey Crawford is a little bit fragile in my opinion, but he's had a lot of time to rest. It's got to be good for him. He must be ready, and I think, yeah, I definitely agree with you. And that's why the Western teams, they were a little bit upset for a 3-game play-in, like here, like in the East for Carey Price, because of Kane. And then you got Kane and Taves, Crawford. I mean, if they all are hot, and Keith, that team could really do some damage. So, yeah. Leafs won't win the cup this year. I don't think so either, but it would kind of be funny to us Habs fans anyway. If they do, we won't like that part. But then they can't have the celebration and the parade, and I think we'd like that. So I'm sorry, Hot Take, if you're listening. Any of you Leafs fans, I do apologize. I don't mean to be mean, but, what are you going to do? Healthy Carey Price could be dangerous in the playoffs. He absolutely can, without a doubt. I just think that some of that's going to be offset by not having Domi. And I don't know if they can replace Domi as a center right now well enough to make up for it. So Carey Price would have to be absolutely lights out, and he could do that. I know that, but I don't know if I want to gamble on that. That's all I'm saying. Jeff, Mantha now and for the next 3 years, or Primo in 2 to 3 years? Yeah, listen, don't make it worse, okay, please? You're just making it worse on me. I would really be tempted to make that trade. I really have to admit I would. I really have to. I just wish, though, we had more goaltending prospects in the, in the pipeline, and we don't. That's really the reason why I don't like it. But I probably, honestly, I think I might. I know I'm leaning to it now. So don't make it worse on me, Fed. Come on. Wolverine, Chicago would have still been a playoff team and a potential cup contender if they never traded Panarin. Yeah, but Panarin, they didn't want to pay him. They couldn't afford to pay him. I mean, what is he making? 13 million, 11? I don't know what he's making. He's making a ton. They didn't want to pay it. Oh, wait a second. I'm feeling dumb. Back when he was, yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry. That's from Columbus. I don't know what I'm talking about. Without a doubt, Chicago has to regret trading Panarin. Who did they get for Panarin? I don't remember. because I didn't really know about Panarin until Columbus. So, but Chicago has to regret that trade, has to, unless they got Kane, which they didn't. They drafted him. I can't see anybody on the team. I don't think of anybody that they could have picked up that they wouldn't regret it. Okay, now I'm tempted to scroll for a sec. I missed something. Okay, I don't want to go back over Weber Subban. Yeah, me too. I love the trade, and I was not mad anyway. Yeah, but the Blackhawks roster is not the same as it was before. Yeah, but I still think they have the potential, and you only need one. You need one hot goalie can do it. Crawford's done it before. I don't know if he can do it right now, but you never know. His one last shot at glory, you never know. It's been done before plenty of times. It's been done before. Maybe not plenty of times, but it's been done before. Evil laughter, yeah. It was sad for Panarin. They regret that trade. Thanks, Lee Max. Appreciate that. Yeah. How could they not regret that trade? I mean, how could they not? I kicked myself so far. I kicked myself in the ass so many times I'd be across the street. Does that make any sense? Chicago got Brandon Saad back for Panarin. Yeah, that's what they got for Panarin. I know. But, yeah, it makes just, I don't know. How do they not know how good Panarin was going to be? This I don't know. They knew. You're saying they got it back because I know they had Saad. They traded him away. They got it back in the Panarin trade. How did they not know that Panarin was better than Saad? That I don't get. So I wonder what the reason. What there had to be a reason that they did it, but they still have to regret it. Have I heard of Lightning's top prospect, Hugo Altfeld? Looked like a fantastic goalie, picked in the 2019 draft, 3rd round. No, I haven't. And listen, it's not to say that Montreal couldn't get another goalie later on in later rounds, and the goalie could be, I mean, great. Look, Primo was a 7th rounder, and I want to hold on to him. So, yeah, I would have to probably lean towards making that trade, Jeff. I really want Mantha here. So, and like you say, Mantha now. And look how much he could do for us now. And you're right. If you're waiting 2-3 years, who knows what's going to be in 2-3 years? So you're right. I'd make that trade. Okay, that's what it was, Jeff. They couldn't afford Panarin. I thought it was something like that, but either way, they probably kicked themselves that they didn't do something else, to keep him. They have to. David, yeah, I got teams like that too, David. I don't. The Chicago doesn't bother me. I like them. I don't like Patrick Kane, but I don't. I like Chicago. Wolverine, and plus Panarin would have probably resigned in Chicago if they didn't trade him because Panarin wanted to play in a big city. That's true. No, that's true. That's one of the big reasons why Panarin left Columbus is he wanted to play in a big city. That was known. If we got Primo in the 7th round, I'm sure we can get someone better. Well, I mean, to say better, that's subjective. But no, I just said that. I think, yeah, we can get goalies. You're right. So I would definitely take that trade. They had to pay Kane and Taves. That's true. That was the year. You're right. You're right. So they chose Panarin. Still, they would have been better off to choose somebody else and kept Panarin. Will Kaprizov actually become that, where did that go? That superstar for the Wild, and will that prevent their rebuild? Okay, I know the name, but I don't know enough about him to answer that. I don't. I know he's a prospect, if I'm correct, and I don't know enough about him to say that, so I won't say. Being a Blues fan and Red Wings fan, it's in my blood. Yes. You've got a lot of teams you like, which is fine. It really is, but it's funny. You've got a lot of teams. You got a lot of colors in your blood, buddy. For me, it's red, white, and blue all the way. Always will be, always has been, and always will be. It came down to being able to keep Kane and Taves or go with the unproven kid. Yeah, and you know what? When you look at it, it's not like Kane or Taves busted after that, right? So, but you know what? You could have maybe made a case that Taves could have been traded and you keep Panarin, because I don't think they would have traded Kane. But I don't know. I guess that's one of those choices. It's like a Sophie's choice. It's an impossible choice. So they had no chance to not regret whatever they did. MJ, they lost Bufflin and others the same way as Panarin. Could not afford them due to cap space. Oh, was Bufflin? I thought Bufflin was drafted by Atlanta. No, Bufflin wasn't an original Atlanta Thrasher. Okay, I didn't know that Bufflin was a Hawk. So that's news on me. Yeah, listen, that's what happens in the cap era. You got to make difficult choices like that. That's why managing the cap is an imperative, because the better you can manage your cap, the less likely you have to make that kind of a choice. You know, that's all I can say. Did I like Podkolzin for the 2019 draft? Canucks drafted him. You know, Podkolzin's one of those guys that he's either, when you read about him, I didn't know a lot about him. It's either he's a sure thing or he's a bust. He's one of those guys I think is going to end up being a good draft pick, and I think Canucks are going to be happy they drafted him. I don't know a ton about Podkolzin, but I know that he should be a really good player. I'm expecting that he'll be a good player if he comes over from Russia, because I think he's still in Russia. I don't know if he'll come over. I think he'll be a good player. NHL hockey news. What should you change on your channel? Oh my God, you can't. Don't ask me a question like that. My God, my channel is far from perfect. Why would you ask me a question like that? Listen, you know, there are channels. There's people that, if you really want to ask that, Nick Niman, Daryl Eves, watch Brian G. Johnson. Those guys will help you learn what to do with your channel. Because look, it's personal. I can tell you some stuff, but it's my opinion. I'm no expert. So I would definitely start watching those guys if you're not already. And yeah. And who else? There's another one. I stopped watching as much. I don't watch as much. I've been watching for a long time. We're into hockey, a hockey niche. The stuff that everybody else does for YouTube and they teach you to do, it doesn't always work here for the hockey niche. We're kind of special. We don't get the, like for the SEO, which is search engine optimization. That's basically how you make your titles and all that kind of stuff. For hockey, there's not enough searches in hockey that it matters a lot. You know, it doesn't make a lot of difference. Johnny Golden, hey, buddy, thanks for coming in. I got a mod in the room. All right. So, yeah, I'd feel really, no, I can't really give you that. At least not here. Listen, if you want on Twitter or something, if you want to DM me, we could talk there. That's the best. Yeah, sorry. I lost my words. Chicago gutted after each coupling. A lot of times that happens. The team, you know, they keep the core, get rid of everybody else. Sorry, guys, a bunch of comments just went past. I didn't see. Once again, sorry. Good time to remind you. Just redo the comments if I missed it, or you can take a. There's a word for it. It's called a super chat or a super sticker, and I'll see that. And yeah, I know somebody took a super sticker a while back. I was the first one that I was ever taken, and I didn't realize that's what the icon was next to your comment, and I didn't realize that. So now I know if I see an icon like that next to your comment, now I know I'm smarter. So, but yeah, so if I do miss anything, sorry. Yeah, that's what that was Discord. You just heard comment on Discord, something happening on Discord. Like I said, a whole bunch have just gone past. I'm really sorry. I get lost sometimes. Wolverine, I know you hate the Bruins. Is there a player in the Bruins you respect? Well, Bergeron for sure. Patrice Bergeron. What is it? Bergeron? Whatever his name is. Definitely. Gotta respect Pasternak's shot. Definitely. I don't like his grandstanding when he plays Montreal, but it's understandable. Um, I don't like Chara. I don't like Marchand. I never will. Oh, Torrey Krug. Wouldn't mind seeing Torrey Krug in a Habs uniform. So yeah, there's players on Boston. Just because it's Boston doesn't mean all the players I gotta hate them personally. I just don't like the team. And there's some guys that I won't like, obviously. Even Toronto, there's guys on Toronto I can respect for sure. Just not if their name is Austin Matthews. No, that's not happening. Other than that, I've lost a little bit of respect for Tavares. I don't know why. Just something. I don't know. Something I've lost a little bit. But I mean, I like Marner, O'Reilly, Riley, not O'Reilly, Morgan Riley. I think those are guys you can respect and like. Do I watch soccer? The soccer fan reacts to hockey. He is funny as hell. No, I've seen the video there, but I didn't click on it. I will do that next time I see it. The hockey guy looks like Squidward, and he's a Bruins fan. You know why the hockey guy looks like Squidward? It's because he lost a lot of weight, and he likes to wear his hats sometimes with the cap up like that. And I agree with you because I've thought the same thing. He's a Bruins fan, so what? He's actually starting to turn back around on Montreal. He said it in a video. He's starting to like Montreal more. But he's a Bruins fan. So what? He's a Bruins fan. He's allowed. I mean, look, if it wasn't for the hockey guy, if you enjoy my videos at all, I wouldn't be doing them if it's not for the hockey guy. So give him some props for that. Johnny Golden, I'm thinking about the draft. I hope we don't get screwed. Yeah, listen, it's a it's a possibility. It's unfortunate, but yeah, I don't want them to beat Pittsburgh. I really don't. I don't think they can. Unless Carey Price really pulls it out of the bag, I don't think they can. We're going to be down Domi, and they're going to have all their guys back. No, I don't think we can. Johnny, you can't draft chocolate milk. I'm not sure, Jordan. Why'd you say that? And by the way, Jordan, welcome in. Thanks for coming in. I just saw you there. Haven't got a hockey news in a while, and I'm a subscriber. Probably COVID related. Oh, that's interesting. I guess I hadn't heard that. That's interesting. Probably though, I would think. Bob St. Jean. If Noah Juleson has a good camp and makes the team, do the Habs trade Jeff Petrie to make room for Cale Fleury and Josh Brook? Good question. I would honestly don't expect Juleson up early next season. That whenever he comes back, maybe kind of depending when next season actually starts. He's still recovering, even though everything looks good. He looks like he's 100% ready now. You got to give him, I would think, half a season in the AHL to get his game timing back and all. I would say he's going to spend some time down there. So no, I don't think yet. I think that's a little early to say that. Jordan's hot take. Carey Price's reflexes are what they are because of chocolate milk. Oh, because of chocolate milk. My thoughts. I get it. I doubt it. I doubt it. But hey, maybe. Jordan again. Jeff Petrie had arguably the best season for our defenseman. He deserves captain consideration. Yeah, if they hang on to him or not. See, he's 32. If they don't trade him and they keep him at the next deadline next year, I think so. But for me, it's Gallagher. Gallagher is the next captain. That's my opinion. Gallagher's. You might consider him and then maybe make him an assistant if he isn't already. Petrie, but I think Gallagher gets it first. Jeff, Dubas forgot the number one rule. Don't become friends with the players. You got it right there. That's one of his big problems. One of his big problems. Or if you're going to be friends with the players, learn how to separate it. Business is business. Friends is friends. Do I get the hockey news back? No, I don't. I used to, though, a long time ago. I used to read that without fail. If not, the Pool Guide is the best article. You would love it. $10, but so worth it. I used to get the pool guide every year to get ready for the playoff pools. I mean, the hockey pools. And hockey news, I used to read, even in the summer, they'd only have sporadically in the summer, but I got it every publication for a few years. I used to love reading the hockey news. Bob St. Jean, you asked me this, I think. Yeah, okay, I answered that. Sorry. Oh, I guess I had missed one. Okay, sorry about that. I always get the pool guide. It's MJ. Great magazine. Yeah, I like those magazines. Some of there's a few that are there's a couple of them that are really good, and there's a couple I don't know. They don't do it for me. If you play fantasy, they're great. They are. Does not come with my subscription though. It may be part of the gold package. Oh yeah, that could be. You get that only. That I never subscribed to it. I used to go out and buy it, but I used to always buy it. Wolverine. Believe it or not, I actually own a Pasternak jersey. That's cool. Got a wicked shot, that guy. It was a birthday gift from my cousin. He didn't know I was a Habs fan. And yes, I do wear it. Not because I like the Bruins, but I like Pasternak. Now, I don't know that I could put on a Bruins sweater. So I give you props to you. You could do it. I don't think I could put on a Bruins sweater and wear it and walk around. No, I could own one, maybe put it on the wall. One day I'll try to have more sweaters around, but I could not wear it. Nope. Even a hat. I would not wear a Bruins hat. I would not wear a Leafs jersey. I would not wear a Leafs hat. And I may possibly, because I can't see myself ever buying a Leafs jersey or hat almost for any reason. The only reason would be if I needed to do it for this channel. Oh, that would be hard to do. Gotta tell you, I could probably be a millionaire, and I don't know that if I would pull out the money for a Leaf sweater. So once again, sorry any Leafs fans out there. I don't mean anything bad by it. It's just, that's it. But hey, listen, if you like the Leafs, hey, you're allowed. Everyone's allowed. Bruins, Leafs, I will never kick anybody or I would never get on anybody that comes into my channel if they like the Leafs or the Bruins, as long as they're not obnoxious about it and uncivil. Yeah, Wolverine, I'm with you. Habs fan for life. Like I said, I always say, cut me, and I bleed red, white, and blue. Isn't it funny how it's in English, it's red, white, and blue, and typical in French is backwards and bleu, blanc, rouge. And you know what? I'm from Quebec, so that's why, if you're wondering why I end my videos, if you watch them to the end, and I say, you know, your daily fix of bleu, blanc, rouge, to me, bleu, blanc, rouge comes naturally, even though I'm English, because I'm from Quebec. So, yeah. Wait a second. Okay, you're still a Habs fan for life, but it's still weird owning that jersey, considering I'm a Habs fan. Technically not supposed to have the Bruins as my second team. Oh, I don't think that's the case at all. I don't think that's the case. I disagree with you there. Just because you love the Habs does not mean you can't like the Bruins. It might seem weird. I get that it might seem weird, but no, why couldn't you? If that's who you like who you like. That's what I say. Romeo and Juliet. It's like Romeo and Juliet liking that. You know, that's the same. So yeah. Is KK ready to play, Johnny? No, I don't know. But, well, I'm going to say I don't know the answer to that. My assumption is no. He's not scheduled to be ready to do any ice and any contact of any kind on the ice, I think, until training camps would open. I really think that he has to recover. And at that point, too, I think it's still going to take, from what I've heard, recovery from a spleen removal could take a year and a half. So we're looking at, it's about 6 months now. Am I wrong on that? It's not 6 months. 3 months, 4 months now. He might have another year to recover. That's why he can play in the recovery, but he won't be fully 100% for that length of time, from what I understand. So I expect him to be in the AHL next season, at least for most of it. Fed's reflexes don't mean shit for a goalie today. I kind of agree. If you're a goalie where you're going by position, you're always square to the goal, to the shooter, and all that, it's not as much of your reflexes. If you're a Dominic Hasek, or Mike Palmetier, Palmetier, I'm going way back for him, where you're flopping all over, it's all reflex. I get that. But Carey Price isn't all about reflexes. Sure, his reflexes help him on sometimes, but he's all about, and now Fedge is going to correct me here, he's all about being in position, tracking the puck, square to the goalie. You don't make as much, you don't have to go as far to get those shots if you're tracking well and moving well. And I think that's what you're talking about. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be totally wrong. I don't think I am totally wrong. Fedge roots for Edmonton and LA because he was a huge Gretzky fan. Also love watching Elias Peterson and Brock Besser, Bo Horvath. Hey, exactly. There's teams I like to watch certain players on, but I mostly root for Montreal. But hey, look, David probably likes the most amount of teams of everyone in here. David's got like 6 or 8 teams he really likes, and there's nothing wrong with that either. So, but for me, it's the Habs. I'm one of those guys. David, he doesn't hate the Leafs or the Bruins, to be honest. I don't hate the Leafs or the Bruins. No, it's okay. You don't have to. If you've said it here before just to make me happy, you don't have to. You can love Montreal and love Toronto. Why not? Love is love, and you can focus that on whatever you want. Also root for Crosby, is Jeff again, and McKinnon because they're from Nova Scotia. Well, that absolutely makes sense. What do I prefer, best of 5 or best of 7 for this NHL playoffs? Well, for the actual playoffs, the best of 7. But remember, it's a play-in. If Montreal gets in, they have to win the play-in. They are not in the playoffs at this point. They are not in the playoffs until they've beaten Pittsburgh. They're not in the playoffs. For that series, I'd rather it be a best of 3. Only to shorten it, not because I think Montreal could beat Pittsburgh in a best of 3. Just to shorten it a little bit more so it won't take as long to get through everything. But I think the best of 5 might be the fairest way to do it. But, I remember many years where we had the first round was best of 5. And then there was a year when they had preliminaries, and the preliminaries were best of 3. So I've seen it all, and it doesn't affect anything. It's just as reputable, and it's fine. I just don't think once you get to the actual 16 teams, I think if you have the time, you go best of 7. If you don't, you might reduce the first series to best of 5. I can see that. But, definitely no best of 3s once you've got your 16 teams. That doesn't work very well for me. Wolverine saying he honestly hates the Leafs more because he's born and raised in Toronto. That's funny. But I love the city of Toronto, but the Leafs I hate because it's just being a Habs fan living in Leafs Nation. Hey, that's okay. I have a friend I used to work with, and we had a hockey card store in a flea market, so it was only a few days a week. He's from Toronto. I think he was born in Montreal, but then he was raised in Toronto, but grew up a Habs fan, and yeah, the same thing. Loves Toronto, but hates the Leafs. So yeah, I get that 100%. Takes a lot of hell from his Toronto friends, though. Fedge is saying he hates every team from Toronto. Blame the Raptors for COVID. Yeah, I'm not a big Blue Jays fan because of the Expos, so we had a natural rivalry there. I'm not a basketball fan, so I can't really say I like or dislike the Raptors, but definitely don't like the Leafs. Glenn, I think NHL going to break some records on their TV and internet views. Damn right they are. Well, listen, whatever sports league manages to get out there first is going to have a lot of views. A lot of views. Lehkonen is a workhorse. I love Lehkonen. I really do. From last year when I didn't understand him, I love him. Shot he is working on, but PK shift by shift. Listen, his shot's okay. He needs a little bit more accuracy. On the PK, like you say, shift by shift, he's smart. He's I was going to say apprehensive. That's not the word I'm looking for. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh God, the word won't come to me. Anticipation. He's got good anticipation. He is smart. He's a pretty damn good skater. I think he manages to get in places where you don't even realize he's there. Lehkonen's there. I like the guy. He's a really smart player. You need players like Lehkonen on your team. You absolutely need players like Lehkonen. What do you think of the rumors? But just Lehkonen is one of those. He's going to be an unsung hero probably his whole career. But the Habs need players like Lehkonen. Excuse me. What do you think of the rumors about Sergachev offer sheet? I don't think it happens. Me neither. I don't think it's Sergachev. I mean, it's just a rumor. I did talk about it in a video. Excuse me. One of the news of the day videos. I don't like offer sheets. I don't want to overpay for players. I don't like the fact of, if they made a trade for Sergachev, I'm fine with that. I don't like getting him by offer sheet only because we traded Drouin for him, traded for Drouin, gave him up. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's almost shameful to be getting him back for. And then what does that say almost? I wonder how Drouin would feel about that, getting him by offer sheet like that. I think it kind of, I don't like the, there's a word I'm looking at. Again, I'm having trouble with my words. I don't like the connotation. It's kind of, so trade for him. Yeah, I like that. You can't trade Drouin back for him, I'm sure. But I don't like the offer sheet thing because you're going to have to overpay him, and I don't like that. But I don't know. It's a rumor. I don't know the validity of it. I don't see why Bergevin would try an offer sheet again so quickly. I don't know. If they did it, would it shock me? No. I don't think I'd like it, though. But I imagine, though, Tampa's pretty close to the cap. It's probably a better gamble than trying to get Aho last year or beginning of last season. So, yeah, I don't know. What do I think of the rumors? Oh, I just read that. I can't believe Plekanec wore a Maple Leafs jersey after all he did for us. Not his choice. They traded him there, and he came back as soon as he could. But it wasn't his choice. They traded him there. And you got to look, maybe he wanted to stay closer to Montreal, as close as he could. Ottawa didn't want him. And Toronto did. They traded him to Toronto. I don't think he had it. I don't think he enjoyed it there. Personally, I don't think he liked his time there. Despite the Bruins having players like Marchand Chara, I will admit this. I kind of like the Bruins because of Pasternak, and I own his jersey, and you got to admit that the Bruins have nice jerseys. No, I don't got to admit it, but it's okay that you like it. I mean, like I said, that's cool. So, yeah, listen, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. You can like them, and you might like the design. I just grew up hating it, so I can't really admit that. If you put a gun to my head, I would say I admit it, but it wouldn't be honest. So no, but it's okay. Listen, it's okay. You can like whoever you like, and you can like the jerseys, and that's fine. Doesn't bother me at all. Every time a Toronto team wins, the next season is canceled. Don't say it. Well, no, it didn't. In '67 they won, and it wasn't canceled in '68. When are you talking about? Are you going all the way back to 1918? Armia has the best shot on the team, and it's not close. God, I don't know that I agree with that. He's got a good shot. I don't know if it's the best one on the team. I think Nick Suzuki has not shown us everything yet, first of all. I think Nick Suzuki's got a shot. He's got all kinds of tools in his bag. He has not shown us everything, but I think Armia does have a good shot. I think Armia has a lot of offense in him. He just has to – they have to let him go and let it come out. I bought a future watch from 2015, and most of the team's top prospects did not work out, except a couple, which is interesting. Well, I think that's the same everywhere. Listen, that's the thing about the prospects is there's a lot of prospects out there. How many make the teams every year? So that's how it is. Yeah, that's the thing about prospects. The thing about this year's draft, though, is that it's a really good draft. More than likely, every one of the top 10 guys will make the NHL in some capacity, anywhere from an elite player to a solid hockey player. I really believe that. Depending on, unless the team goes way off the board and picks somebody weird. So this is a special draft, and I want Montreal to get a pick there because I think an 8th pick in the draft this year is going to be a player that is going to be a good, solid player that we could have for a long time. Listen, a guy like Marco Rossi, if he lives up to all of his potential, that's a guy that can help you win. Doesn't matter that he's 5'9". Okay, where was I? I'm all for paying players for what they are going to do, not for what they did. Well, I think you got to kind of do it a little bit of both, don't you? You have to. If they didn't do what they did for you to want to pay them for what they're going to do, then you wouldn't be paying them for what they're going to do. Therefore, whatever you're paying them is for both. Does that make any sense? I think you have to do it a little bit for both. I don't think you should strictly do, well, he's going to be this. I don't think that's right. You're paying him too early. I don't think you should necessarily only pay them, oh, well, look what he did, because maybe that's his best and he's not going to be as good as that going forward. So I think it's a little bit of both. So, yeah. And I like what I said there about that's kind of made sense, and it was kind of funny. When I was a kid, I asked my parents if I could get a tattoo. They said, okay, as long as I got it in a place that didn't. I saw that somewhere. So I got it in Toronto. I saw that on Twitter a few days ago. So I don't mean to bust you that you better got, but that is funny. I laughed when I saw that. But it's the second or third time I'm seeing it, so not as much. Sorry. 25th Cup. Again, if it's the 25th Cup, do I want to see them get a 25th Cup and no parade? I'll take it, yes. But I really don't want it to be this year with no parade, no way to go out and celebrate it. Now that I have the channel, if they want and there be a parade, I can go out and film some stuff from there, and it would be really cool. And, yeah, so no. Yes and no. Yeah, if they won the Cup, I'd be super freaking happy. Oh, Wolverine, if you're still there, thanks for coming in, buddy. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you around. I'm going to check out your videos soon. Don't worry. And you too, NHL reports. Don't worry, I'm going to get there. Sometimes, it's late at night, a little bit before I'm going to bed, and I want to watch something, but I don't want to start a new show. So that's a lot of times when I go and I check out your guys' videos then, and I catch up that way. And no, I don't watch every single video. I don't watch every single hockey guy video. I don't watch every single anybody's video. So, but I do check out here and there. So, will Norlinder play in 2021-22, either in Laval or Habs? It's a good question. I don't see him being here next season in any way, shape, or form, but I think it's a possibility. I think, though, by 2022-23, he's definitely here in North America. But I do think, I'll say that if he wants to be an NHL player, he will be here to either play in Laval or in Montreal in 21-22. Wolf Beans, yeah. I really, when I saw it the first time, definitely, I laughed out loud. It's a great joke. Not so much if you're a Leafs fan, but it's a great joke if you're a Habs fan. Mete RFA, how much will you sign him for? Is he an RFA? I guess he is, eh? It's a good question. 1.75, something around there. 1.75 mil. There you go. Well, that's what came to my head. You think the city would go nuts, and so on their own, the cops wouldn't have a chance. They might, but I don't. I wouldn't want to be part of that. So I couldn't take place. I couldn't take part of it. So for me, that doesn't work. So no. I'm newbie. Now say that 10 times fast. I'm newbie. That's a cool name. I like that. Welcome in, buddy. Uh, I guess I kind of answered your question. Didn't realize you had such a funny name till your next one. Can the Habs draft pick be lower than 8? They'd have to trade up or win the lottery. And it looks like the lottery will be the team that wins can move up 4 spots. So it seems that's the only way. I think it's unlikely that they're going to be able to trade up because you're not going to be allowed to trade actual NHL players to another team to move up. You can only trade, excuse me, I'm out of the picture. You can only trade players that are out of the NHL, like a Puljujarvi, who's out of the NHL, but they have their rights, the Oilers, or prospects and draft picks. I think that kind of makes it unlikely that the Habs can move up, but you never know. I'm getting tired, and at least we're in the last 15 minutes. Good thing, because I'm getting tired. What do I think Gallagher's next contract amount would be per year? Good question. Do you think maybe it's time to use his trade value and get a sniper in a package deal? No. I'm not 100% sure you're going to get true value back for him. I'd like to see him stay here long enough to be captain of the team. It's a really good question. I know he's making something like 3.75, something like that. He's got to go up around 6. Personally, I would like to try to start my negotiations. Offering him 5, he'd laugh. I'd say 5.5 to 6 is where I'd be happy with him. But I wouldn't like to trade him for a sniper because I don't think you can get a sniper for Gallagher. I think his trade value wouldn't be true value. Guy like Gallagher, his true value is to his team. His team notices it more than anybody else. The fans know it more than anybody else. And the experts do, but I don't think you'll get true value in return. What videos do I like from the hockey guy? Oh, all kinds. He's got a lot of good ideas here. I'll watch a video and go, wow, I like that idea, and I'll steal it, and I'll make it my own. In that, when I take somebody's idea, I have to have my own slant or angle on it. If I can't do that, I won't just steal an idea. And remember, stealing ideas here on YouTube is perfectly fine. But I also believe you should make it somehow your own. I like so many different kind of things from him. So sometimes when he just does a rant and talks about his channel or whatever, I'll watch the whole video. It's rare I watch a hockey guy video I don't watch all the way through. So, yeah, I like all kinds of things from him. If it's a team I don't like or a team I don't really care for, and he's doing something like that, those videos I don't watch always. I often don't watch. But he does so many different things, and he's got so many good ideas. Yeah, I watch all kinds of stuff. What did Kulak get because Mete is getting more? Kulak got 1.74, didn't he? Over 2 years. He got like 3.5, 3.4 for 2 years, something like that. So I think he gets. I think he gets. You may be right, so maybe 2, but I don't feel comfortable paying Mete more than 2, which probably means he'd get 2.5. But yeah, I'd like to see him get no more than 2. Maybe not on a long-term deal, sign a little bit shorter term, and then get more on after that, because he still has a lot to show, and I think he's still got a lot of potential. Norlinder just signed a 2-year contract in Sweden. He'd have to find a way out of it to come over early. So there you go. He's looking at 22, 23, which is fine. Listen, that means he develops over in Sweden, and he's playing against men. That's fine. When he's ready, he's going to come over. I imagine, what is it worth for him to come over here and not be in the NHL, maybe playing in the AHL for AHL money? It doesn't really pay. That's why a lot of Russians don't do it. What percentage chance can the Habs get the first pick? Oh, God, none. None. Would you trade away who's going to trade away the Lafreniere pick? Or are you saying draft lottery? No, they said the draft lottery is going to be changed for this season. Going to be one winner, and they can only move up 4 spots, which means Montreal, if they have 8th, they can only move up to 4th. Then again, I wasn't thinking, wait, what if they manage to trade up with like whoever's in 4th place or 5th, because they can move up 4 before the lottery, and then they're sitting in that pick and they win. Do they get first then? I wonder. That's a good question. I got to look that up somehow. David went with his Red Wings to get Lafreniere. It's a good chance that they'll keep the first pick and not lose it to the draft lottery. Especially if it's just the one winner and they only move up 4, they have a good chance to not be kicked down one. All right, David. David wants Montreal to win the cup or at least go deep. As long as you realize if they go deep but don't win the cup, their draft pick is screwed. But that's okay. That's okay. There's a lot of people out there that are going to say they'd rather have the cup, a chance at the cup, even if they don't get it there, than the draft pick. And I get that. But for me, I'd go the other way. I'd rather have that draft pick than only a chance at winning the cup. So that's how I feel. How it's going to be is how the Habs take care of it on the ice. And if they're winning on the ice, I'm going to be just as freaking happy. Which is my second favorite team? I don't have one. There are teams that I like, but there is no other team other than Montreal that I can put the word favorite next to. None. Hey, NHL Reports, thanks a lot, buddy. Thanks for coming in. As always, you're like almost always the first comment now, the first one to watch the video. Like, I really, really appreciate that, buddy. And listen, when I'm able to do collabs, you might be the first one as well because of your loyalty, that's for sure. And I do believe you're interested to do that. So when I get my OBS working and I can do it, I'll let you know and I will ask you. Yeah, he says, gotta go. Yeah, don't forget I thought he was only talking about my videos there for a second. Don't forget to head over there, NHL Hockey News. Check out his channel. He does some really good videos. He's got some really good topics. Give him a thumbs up. Give him a subscribe. Let's get him up. I think his next goal is 300, so let's get him to 300. How much would I sign Kovalchuk for? Good question. I'm Nub. Good question. Not as much as I think other people. Ideally, I would like to get Kovalchuk for 2 years at $5 million for the 2, so $2.5 million per. And for me, I don't want to. I really reluctantly would. I wouldn't. I don't know if I would go far higher than that. So I'd like to see about 2.5 per season, and I can understand a 2-year term. Personally, though, I would really rather him only have a 1 year. And I would even give him $3 million for 1 year, but I would think he'd want 2, and I would go with $5 million over the 2 years. I have a feeling if he does sign here, he'll get more, but I don't like that. I don't think he should get more. I'm losing my voice. Okay, we're on the last 5 minutes, guys. Gotta say, though, that's an hour and a half that went by pretty fast. I'm losing my voice, though. But I'm pretty fast. And hey, we had a lot of good hockey stuff to talk about tonight, as opposed to other nights where I'm getting a lot of the personal questions, which are fine. But tonight didn't get any personal ones, really. It was all related to hockey. And I think that is a sign that there's things happening. And I like that. It's cool. Habs can't get the first pick. The highest they can get is 4th, and the lowest is 12th in the lottery. Yeah, but what do you know for a fact that if they happen to trade up before the Quebec Lotto 649 before the lottery, can they do that? And if that happens, then if they won the lottery, then they would move up, wouldn't they? But I don't think they can trade up before the lottery is. I don't think so. But I'm not sure. Who the hell knows? What do I know? I only have a hockey channel on YouTube. Ottawa's going to win the top 2 picks. Mark my words. Okay, then let me ask you this. If Ottawa does get the top 2 picks, you still think they take Askarov? Because then I don't think they do. Fedge also wouldn't. Fedge, I knew you wouldn't. I think you've said it before. I knew you wouldn't sign Kovalchuk. I would, but I'd be cheap about it if I could. I really would. I think he could bring a lot of help in the room and all that stuff, but no long-term thing and no overpayment. Fedge, I don't think they can trade before the draft. Yeah, I don't think so either. Because it would kind of be like that. Then a team could trade up and then get the first pick. So, yeah, I don't think they could. So, yeah. I'd be okay with Rossi. Boom Boom was 5'9", and he was pretty good. Oh, listen, what about Matt Snaslin? Matt Snaslin was 5'9", I think, 5'10". Yeah, I think Marco Rossi at 5'9", it's not going to be a hindrance. My only question was they just drafted Cole Caulfield, who's 5'7" last year. Are they going to do it 2 years in a row? You might, you know what? If he's the best player that's available when you're drafting, yeah, you got to do it. Listen, Caulfield might be a bust. I don't think he will be. But, I mean, he might. So drafting Rossi at 5'9" doesn't really have any effect on Caulfield. Doesn't. Caulfield could be a bust, might not be. I mean, might be a bust, but I think he'll be good. It still won't have any effect. If Rossi's going to be as good as they say, won't matter his size. Were you a good hockey player when you were young? No, I've never been a good hockey player. I've been an enthusiastic hockey player. I'm a decent skater. I don't cross well over to the left. I'm good that way. Skating backwards, so. But I have fun doing it. I try hard. I'm okay. Yeah. If you play against players that are your caliber, then it doesn't matter, right? But no, I never played organized hockey when I was young or any time. So, no, I didn't really get the coaching or anything. But I played hockey every day, almost every day. Even in the summer, we played hockey most days. So, like, when I was a kid, I played hockey almost 365 days a year. Is Romanov eligible to play? Still not decided, but I would not count on it. From what I can see, I don't know if it's a hot take, but we'll call it one. My hot take is no, Romanov will not be able to play. 5'9" is okay when the rest of the team is over 6. 5'9" was not small 50 years ago. That is very true. And you're right. If you're going to have Caulfield and you're going to have Rossi, if that's who our pick is, and you're going to have Domi and you're going to have, too many small guys, it's a problem. I think small guys are fine in the NHL, but you can't have all your team being small. That just won't work. That's just obvious. But, look, maybe Caulfield doesn't make the big team. Maybe Caulfield gets traded. You got Rossi. If Caulfield maybe you trade Rossi. I don't think anyone's going to trade Rossi when they have him. But, yeah, 5'9" is fine. And yeah, older players 50, 60, 70 years ago, 5'9" wasn't as small as it is today. Okay, on that note, we're right at an hour and a half. There's no more questions. I'm gonna end on Fedgehead. That's Jeff's question or comment. Appropriate, because he did send a super chat. So there you go. If you send a super chat, you get special treatment. Now I just got a really nice comment here that nobody can see but me. I'm not going to show this comment that I got. If you're still in the room, Schweiza, I don't know how to take that. I don't appreciate being called boy. And that tends to make me think that you might not be giving me a good comment, a good compliment. If I'm wrong on that, thanks. I appreciate that. But I don't like being called boy. I don't. In the future, if you want to stay around in the future and coming back, because I'm leaving right now, don't call me boy. I'm probably older than you. So bye, everybody. Sorry, distracted by that. See you next Saturday. This is it. Saturday, 8 o'clock. The time could change the odd time here, but it's basically Saturday at 8:05. It's the 8:05 because of notifications. If I do it right at 8, there's a lot of people uploading and all that stuff, and the notifications don't go out. And I've learned to either do 5 minutes before the hour or half hour or 5 minutes after, especially at 8 o'clock. So that's the reason for that. Like I said, Saturday Night Hockey Talk is back every Saturday. See you guys there. Thanks for the support. Thanks for being here, everybody. Hope to see you again next week. And hopefully I'll see you on the comments in my videos. So have a great week, everybody. Really appreciate it. Peace out, everybody. I usually do that. And no, I did not steal that from John. I never knew John did that, and I don't know if John stole it from me, but John and from Hot Take Hockey, both of us do the peace out. It's not from him that I got it. Anyway, have a good night, everybody.